What's up, everybody? It's your favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Train, as usual. Hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. As you can see, we got my guys here again, Reese and Freddie. Reese, say what's good to the folk real quick.
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
Bad. Freddie, say what's up to the folk right fast, man.
What's up? Back again for another one. Can't wait to chop it up with these two again, man.
Indeed. I might just have to keep doing it like that. Say who's going to say what first. Like, you know, cause that ran smooth this time. Usually no one want to say something and then somebody randomly, it just didn't seem really productive. I'm gonna keep doing it like that. I'm gonna keep doing it like that. Hey, real quick, before I say anything though, what y'all gonna be doing for Thanksgiving? Like anything special?
Yeah, I'm going up to Richmond to see my folks. We do like a whole like dinner type gig.
Okay. Freddie, what about yourself?
Man, I got 3 houses to go to. Damn. So, you know, I'm about them plates, baby. I'm about them plates. Listen, my grandma.
Low vibration.
Miniature sweet potato pies. About this big, bro. Listen. Oh, my goodness. Life-changing. So, yeah, I'll be bouncing around for sure, spreading my love.
Big fact. That's one of the
best
holidays. I'm just going to hang around with some family. I'll probably get like a plate and a possible, you know, something like that.
I said like playing spades.
The card games get going though. That's what it's for.
That's what's crazy. And look, them card games, like, ladies and gentlemen, if you've never played spades, just know it can get very hectic. I'm talking about Game 7, NBA Finals, hectic. Like, you might throw out a yo mama joke and let it ride.
Also, if you don't renege, you're not playing for real. It's about winning.
The slam dunk of spades is slapping them cards down on that table. That's a highlight reel. Listen.
Yeah.
Facts. I don't. Please don't renege, folks.
Hey,
just don't renege.
Do what you gotta do. Get it, sweet talk a little bit. They don't be paying attention for real. They paying attention. They're not paying attention for real.
Do what you gotta do, ladies and gentlemen.
It's all about winning the books.
Hey, now look, because you know that I don't want to harp too much on Thanksgiving. They know they want to talk about sports here. We want to talk about sports. So I am thankful though of sports. And, you know, I got a little quick mention segment, real quick. I just wanted to throw out there. You know, I want to show some love to the people who were affected by the UVA shooting. That was very unfortunate. So, you know, 3 football players who were hit, like, their families, I wish you all the best. Everyone who was affected, like I said, wish you all the best. The Kyrie suspension, you know, it's still ongoing. Hopefully he's able to return. I know he's made a lot of strides, but we'll see.
Sunday.
Yeah, we'll see him play. So I'm glad that's, you know, getting situated. Brittany Griner's appeal, we already know she's over there for 9 years in Russia. So, you know, wish you the best, BG. Also, people in her situation, similar situations. We got to use her situation to kind of highlight other people in that way too. I think that's also not being talked about enough too. So again, for everybody, including Brittany Griner, wish you all the best. Hopefully you guys can get out of prison soon. Like that would be nice. Also, DJ Wagner committed to Kentucky. The number 1 player in 2023 is now going to Kentucky. So I just got to say, DJ, you chose poorly. Should have gone to but congratulations.
Hey.
Don't nobody trust that
program. About who his father is, though? Speaking of high school phenoms.
But it was cool.
Wow, Wagner.
His son is pretty damn tough too. Yeah. Like, there's nothing to scoff at. Also, speaking of sons, Melo's kid got an offer from Syracuse, bro. Like, that's wild. We just saw Melo in Syracuse. It's crazy. And then also another high school phenom who's now in college, at least his second year, should be his first now, but he was classified. Imoni Bates went off against Michigan. So, you know, I'm glad my man is back. Let's go. And, you know, to close off the quick mentions, it's the World Cup, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if y'all knew that or not, but the World Cup does start. It ends mid-December. So we got a bunch of football, soccer coming up. So definitely take place with that. But well, fellas, y'all know how this happened last time. I kind of want to just show y'all a little clip right fast. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a quick little break, but we will come back very, very soon.
Portland zoning a little bit there.
And they probably play as much, if not the most, zone defense
in the lead for the Mavericks. It's like something was said in the huddle at the timeout or something. Yeah.
Corner.
Simons pulled down Powell away for the play. The ball boomerangs right to Portland. And in terms of his games, and it was a 2025 first round pick from another team. Combines for the other 10 threes they take.
Pass.
Powell
High scoring first quarter.
Here comes Luka. And there comes the rookie. 2 big scoring years in Detroit. 2 years ago, 22 a game. Last year, 19 a game. Looking off the defense.
4 dudes loaded up on that strong side defensively.
Well, I said earlier he had prime real estate when he caught it deep. That was an open house. Rebound. The Mavericks are getting better in that regard. And now Luka down the lane. The giant killer. A little bit over 10.
I'm surprised they only shoot.
To nose out in front, but now the Mavericks have caught back up, and they look for the lead, and Luka gives it. It's Portland who opens up with the first 4 points and the lead. Luka on the bounce around a screen by Finney-Smith. Shakes free from Simons.
That little play, he's just so nice pass there.
Luka initiates. Luka against Simons. And it's Luka against Simons, and he scored with 5 in a row to retake the lead.
Trying to make it come from the outside.
Luka, he takes it in.
All right. So look, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about Derek Carr and his emotional interview. Now, this is NFL, so I know you're wondering, all right, why are we talking about NFL? Well, this is a sports show. I understand, get a bucket, but you can talk about football. So leadership, right? From a leadership standpoint, fellas, what was your take on Derek Carr? And maybe you guys didn't peep what he said, right? Maybe you guys didn't peep what he said. So in case you guys were wondering, this is what Derek Carr said.
I can't speak for everybody. I know where I stand, and I love the silver and black. I'm going to give it everything I can every time I go out there. I love Josh. I love our coaches. They've had nothing but success, way more success than I've ever had. I'm sorry for being emotional. I'm just pissed off about some of the things, that a lot of us try and do just to practice. What we put our bodies through just to sleep at night. And for that to be the result of all that effort pisses me off. It's hard. Knowing what some guys are doing. Like I said, just to practice. But they're putting in their body just to sleep at night. Like just so we can be there for each other. I wish everybody in that room felt the same way about this place. And as a leader, that pisses me off, if I'm being honest.
What's y'all thoughts on this? Reese, let's start with you, bro. Do you feel like as a leader, this was a good look? Like, do you feel like this was a leadership quality? Is it okay for men to cry? I feel like real men can cry. What you think?
Real men can cry. However, there is a time and a place for everything.
No.
And I mean, he's talking like a guy that I don't even know what to say, to be honest. I mean, they're 2-7, and they're more than underperforming, obviously. I don't know what exactly to point it to. I don't want to say it's all him. I can't say it's all the coach, but they're playing worse than they were last season. And it's like you add a receiver like Devontae Adams, your running game is decent with Josh Jacobs in the back. I mean, it's kind of like, Derek, you got to will these guys to some wins. I mean, but it's the comments that really stuck is the things that guys are doing to sleep at night. Like, he really harped on that. And it really kind of like raises some red flags. And I'm like, what is going on? You know what I mean? So yes, it's okay for grown men to cry, there is a time and place. I understand being pissed off. Sometimes I get a little teary-eyed when I'm upset. You know what I mean? But I feel the passion. I felt his passion. You know what I mean? I don't want you to think that speech fell on deaf ears, Derek. I felt you. You know what I mean? But that's tough because you ain't talk a lot of football, man. It was I don't know. It was excuses, man. It was a lot of excuses.
I feel that. We know how we feel about excuses.
Yeah.
So, Freddie, let me ask you this then, because Reese did say they're 2-7, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning of the season, I was told by a friend it was going to be the Raiders versus the Cardinals in the Super Bowl. So, like, can we
laughing off of the
turn
screen?
The season around, like, Freddie? Can we turn the season around, like?
Turn it around.
Yeah, like maybe.
Talking about reverse fall. What are you talking about? Talking about the football?
Well, no. So here's the thing, right? When I look at someone like Derek Carr in this moment, I'm thinking, okay, he's passionate, and maybe his teammates will follow that passion, right? Like maybe this interview, this post-game interview, can turn the season around, can get some of those players who aren't doing those things that he was mentioning. Maybe they'll start doing those things, and maybe they can turn it around. Because again, they got Josh Jacobs, they got Devontae Adams. Derek Carr's no slouch, at least we thought so. So I mean, can this turn it around for him at least? Like maybe they can follow that passion.
All right, so there's two ways to look at it. There's a negative and a positive type of thing, I guess, right? The positive side of it, let's start positive, is that the Raiders have, like I said, all of this talent. They went out and got a superstar defensive player in Chandler Jones. They went out and got a superstar wide receiver, arguably the best receiver.
That's right.
In Devontae Adams, to bolster that offense that they had. He went from a season high or career high 4,800 passing yards last year to he's not even going to come close to that this year, right?
Right.
They've taken a step back. Josh Jacobs seems that he's pretty healthy and he's in tip-top form. If you look at him, he's been performing like one of the best running backs in the league. Darren Waller's out due to injury, cool, right? Even with all of that, the Henry Ruggs car accident thing, the John Gruden thing, they've shown glimpses that they could. I mean, they won 10 games last year, I think, made it to the playoffs. They showed glimpses very recently that they can turn their season around.
Right, they won't. It's not like they trailed in every game. You know what I mean? They gave some.
So there's no hope that they can turn it around based on.
So that's what I'm getting to though. So they've shown they have the talent, right? They have just looking at the past 2 or 3 years, they've always had ups and downs. It's always been a roller coaster. Last year, they started off 5-2, lost 5 of 6, and then won 4 straight to make the playoffs, right? They've shown that they've been streaky. So with them starting off, like I said, 2-7, can they run off another 4-game win streak like they did to win last year? Sure, they have the talent to do it. Now, for the negative side, I think Derek Carr has peaked. 2, I think there's too many good teams in the AFC for him to, and their schedule isn't really easy to finish the season. And then the one thing that nobody's talking about for whatever reason, outside of the injury to Darren Waller and so on and so forth, bro, Josh McDaniels is not a freaking good coach. Yeah. He has no freaking resume. Like, he's coached before. In one season, he finished and they weren't good. The next season, he got fired before the season ended. So I don't think they have the coaching personnel. I don't think they have the coaching staff to turn it around. I don't think Derek Carr is going to play any better than he did last year. I think he's now going to be in. I mean, be honest, bro. I think they've lost their soul at this point, bro. The AFC is too tough, and I don't think they have what it takes to turn it around, man.
How about saying, Freddie, the next 4 games, we got the Broncos, Seahawks, Chargers, and Rams.
Mm-hmm.
So they could go 2-2, 3-1. Could.
Yeah.
Then you got the Patriots, Steelers, San Francisco, and then the KC. So I mean, you could go again 2-2 on those last 4. But I mean, That's giving them 6 wins.
They got to win out. You got to go 10-7.
Yeah.
9-8 won't get you in there in the AFC.
Right.
So I don't think.
I agree with you on that. I think it's a little bit too late to try. Like you should have started a little earlier if you were going to do something.
2 wins.
Like 2's a little tough. Like maybe if you said 4, all right, I can rock with 4 because like that gives you some wiggle room to lose a few games but still kind of rally around. Because it's very hard to win out. It's hard to win multiple games back to back. That's tough. Like the Eagles just lost and they could have lost earlier. So it's like it's very hard to do. So I agree with you. Derek Carr, very emotional. I think it was very, very admirable to show that emotional side because you don't get that in NFL. It's just
he's a good guy, genuine guy for sure.
Yeah. It's just tough. It's just tough to bring that home. And I also think too, like you said, Josh McDaniels, because I think the organization as a whole needs a restructuring, needs a change. Like I'm not the biggest Josh McDaniels fan. I'm be honest with you.
Yeah.
Don't even look him up. Like I have not looked up Josh McDaniels too much because I'm like, he's not gonna last long. I'm not gonna worry. I'm not gonna waste my energy. So I think the Raiders really need to look internally and see what changes need to be made from an organizational standpoint. I like Derek Carr. Maybe you need to let go of Derek Carr too. It's not the first thing to go. He's not the biggest point, like you said, Freddie, but at some point in time, the Raiders need to show a little bit more fight. You get knocked down sometimes, but life happens. And
after about 8 years, why not?
Yeah, I mean, hey, you got to do something. But like I said, they got to make sure to show a little fight, and we will be transitioning on. But before we do that, I just wanted to make sure y'all understand what I mean by show a little fight. So.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
we ain't got to do this, bro. Come on.
We don't have to do this.
Come on, bro. This is unnecessary. Very unnecessary, man. Isn't Pereira Samoan? You're not supposed to fight people that have native blood in them, man, or Samoan blood.
This was their first fight. Like,
come on, man. It's messed up, bro. We ain't have to do this.
佩雷拉还是很有经验的，当出现自己身体状况不好的情况下，马上往前冲，去把自己的距离缩短。陪练我觉得是很重要的。佩雷拉跳膝，哇，这个躲真漂亮，
非常漂亮啊！
左手平勾，
左平勾打到黑龙了。
黑龙
哦，看黑龙这个时候呼吸，
裁判还在读秒，让佩雷拉站到边角上去，终止比赛了。
是，
但是裁判对这个佩雷拉的边角表示非常的不满意。
对，
毕竟在没有判定之前，你们是不允许进入这个擂台边角。这是一场很大的逆转，正中下巴。
Por nocaute, o campeão, o vencedor, Alex.
At all times, keep yourself protected. When I tell you to stop, you stop.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Unreal. It's in this matchup.
Well, he's a better fighter. Grady truly is. But it's a dangerous fight. Now he goes up high. He's fought world-class kickboxers on a regular basis.
5 rounds, never been 25 minutes in MMA.
Oh, nice right hand by Izzy. Right hand. Well, this is what Izzy does to everybody. He finds punching.
That was one of those things that he didn't do against Behold.
He went high, but just to the body. Got under the elbow.
And this guy, his...
Do that tonight.
Oh, good kick to the body.
Big.
Oh, jeez.
There's that money maker.
It's when Izzy...
First beautiful situation.
Beautiful body lock by the champ. Big knee.
Huge right. Pereira seems to have recovered.
Little slip on the fence by Adesanya, then he slips that off.
Dangerous when Alex gets close. Izzy's got to throw that right hand.
And he goes high.
If he wants a chance, he's going to have to take some chances. Oh, man, the jab is stiff. You hear him when he lands, even in cold.
Oh, he hurt him. Had to fight a guy as talented as Izzy.
That's the difference. If you tell Alex that he has to spar, oh, my goodness.
Couple nice left hands from the challenger.
At the same time there. Oh, beautiful.
Oh! Adesanya connects to the body.
We didn't have to do this. This ain't right, bro.
Absolutely, though. Here's the thing. He could have never fought him again. But you have a round 2 and probably going to be a match 3.
Yeah, bro, but you ain't have to post this, is what I'm saying. You didn't have to do this. You could have used the time towards something less violent. Come on, man.
Just show a little fight. Just show a little fight.
Show a little fight.
Man.
That does nothing. You got to be trying to get back.
I lost money from this fight.
He's got to be attacking.
That was
ground control time for Adesanya here in this third round.
He had no chance to score a takedown. Over the top while Pereira's grabbing the wrist.
Oh, nice left hand.
30 seconds. And throws.
Little axe kick to the body. Adesanya able to roll with that left. Medal though from Adesanya after a tough round 2.
Big jab.
Usman certainly didn't sit on his lead against Leon Edwards. Big leg kick. Pineda's had his most success for the body.
That was something slight. But I hope y'all enjoyed that little highlight right quick. Because now, you know, I know y'all, we from the DMV area, right? So I got to ask a very serious question. Should the Wizards, the Washington Wizards, trade Bradley Beal? Believe it or not, at the point in time that I looked at this, they were 4-5 with Brad Beal. And then they go 4-1 without him. I said 4-1 without him. Like, that's kind of tough, bro. And Brad Beal is worth a pretty penny. So, knowing that the Wizards have done better, and when I looked at the teams that they've had to play against, it's respectable. Like, you go Phoenix twice with Beal. I'm sorry, Philly twice with Beal. Brooklyn, Boston, Cleveland, Chicago. Matter of fact, let me give my man some love right quick. Hold on, let me give my man some love right quick. There he is. You know, you got Boston. You got the Cavs, Chicago, Detroit, and then Indiana twice. Without Beal, you go up against the Grizz twice. Charlotte, Dallas, and then the Jazz, who have been quite popular. So, should we go ahead and trade Beal, fellas? Like, is it about time to just go ahead and try to get a good amount back for him? Freddie, let's start with you. What's your take? Would you, as the Wizards, trade Bradley Beal or try to trade Bradley Beal this season?
Bro, I'm so exhausted when it comes to talking about Bradley Beal being traded from the damn Wizards. This has been going on for 8 years, man. Man, listen, he should have been traded, man. Why were they holding on to him? I love Brad Beal. He's great. I love him since college, right? You see this 6'3", muscle bound, right? He came in built like Buddy Hield or Anthony Edwards. He's gotten better as the years gone on. There's nothing bad to say about him. It's just that he can't be the face of your franchise. He can't be the #1 guy. And they've had so many opportunities to get stuff for this guy when his value was even higher, when he was 30 point a game, Bradley Beal. And man, his loyalty is weird, bro. I respect loyalty like him and Damian Lillard. And I even understand Dame's a little more than his, because there is nobody that was going to come there through free agency that they couldn't. Kevin Durant was the only chance they had, and KD's not thinking about coming back to DMV, right? Brad Bill, bro, just go and like I get it, money cool, but bro, just go and you're gonna make endorsements and so on and so forth. Go and freaking make something of yourself, bro. Like he's too great to try to play this loyalty thing. Nobody's gonna look at him different for leaving, bro. Nobody.
So then,
yeah.
Reese, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this one then. If there were a team, right? Because I looked at all the teams that are out there. Freddie, I actually thought your Knicks might be able to finesse them.
I would love them.
They give up RJ, Cam, and Toppin, right? And that was
I don't want to give up RJ for him.
You don't want to give up RJ? I mean, I hear that.
RJ 0 for 19 for 3 over this stretch. That's a crazy stretch.
That is, yeah. But for whatever reason though, he'll go on another stretch that will even out his.
Yeah.
It's like I don't
averages,
but Reese, let me ask you this, right? Because like I said, I thought the Blazers and the Kings, you know what I'm saying, could have the best trade package for them. Now with the Blazers, I think this could be the best. Anthony Simons and Shaden Sharp, easy. Like that's me personally. And then I got the Kings. It's going to have to be centered, obviously, around Keegan Murray. And then you got to throw in Malik Monk, maybe Raquan Holmes or Davion Mitchell, or Davion Mitchell. Would you rather, Reese, deal with the Blazers, Kings, or is there another realistic team? I don't want to hear no Celtics BS. All right? I don't want to hear that. All right? No sensationalism today. Realistic.
Jaylen Brown over him.
I said realistic. I mean, if you want to throw JB out there, then that's cool. No, but I know he's not going to throw JB out there. Although, you know, Brad Beal.
I got one for you.
Play with one another at one point in time. I know that. But what
Blue boys? Ooh, I didn't think about that.
What about Chicago?
Why Chicago though?
Zach LaVine ain't looking like Zach LaVine coming off that injury. Like his game, and I mean, you know what I mean? Like you give him a recovery kind of grace period, right? Don't get me wrong. But like you can kind of see it in a guy when mentally he doesn't think that he can like get to where he was. You know what I mean? Right. You know what I mean? Like Zach LaVine's game was very like bouncy. And so I think you kind of do like a sort of kind of 1-for-1. You give me Brad and DeMar. I think Brad and DeMar could make some noise in the East. I mean, DeMar just dropped 40, like 5. I know you know, Trey, you got him on your fantasy team. He dropped like 40-odd points and lost to a buzzer beater from Jalen Suggs last night against that Orlando Magic team that you think is so spicy. And so I think Chicago could be an option. Philly, they trade Tobias Harris. I heard that he might be in talks. Philly could be something. Give James Harden and Joel another kind of guy. Because Tobias Harris, he doesn't really.
I don't know about that one.
Professional, but
what about Maxey though?
I'm about to say I don't know about that one, champ. You still got Maxey, Harden, and Brad.
Everybody need a 6-man. Everybody needs a 6-man.
Maxey is a 6-man though, man. Maxey is.
He's way better than the 6-man.
When he hit to Toronto, bro,
I'm going with Maxey being a 6-man. Reese. You know I wanted Maxey coming off the bench, but you got to still play him at the end of the game. And I don't like Brad Beal, Tyrese Maxey, and James Harden essentially being my 1 through 3, especially when I've got to think about the defensive end. That's tough. So I'm like, and you already look a little shaky on the forward.
Chicago's where I would go. But
what about Chicago?
I didn't think about Chicago.
Like, does it make one that much better than the other?
I don't know. It's strictly off of Zach LaVine cannot get back to like by February 9th. If Zach LaVine is still not there, you kind of assemble this team, assuming that it will be DeMar. You know what I mean? Lonzo. We still don't know what's going on with him.
That hurt.
You see what I'm saying? And so it's kind of like DeMar don't have, but so much longer. You know what I mean? So if you're gonna have your 2 young guys that you kind of brought in, both kind of hurt by injuries, and your goal is to win, and that's how I felt with Freddie's not hitting the head.
I Reese real quick then. So do you think Brad Beal, DeMar DeRozan, and Vucevic scares the Bucks and your Celtics?
don't think many teams scared the Bucks and Celtics, to be honest.
Okay. How come? Because if I'm Chicago, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trading a younger Levine for Bradley Beal. I'm expecting to win that.
Right. Well,
does that really help you more? I don't think that helps him that much.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I put the caveat.
I hear you because you lost Lonzo. You do need more playmaking.
Yeah.
Right? And I think playmaking I will go Brad Beal, but I'm with you, Freddie. I don't think it makes you.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's why you get Bron, Dragic, and Caruso to.
Okay, so then what about Brooklyn? Ben Simmons for Brad.
Ooh. No.
I can't because Ben Simmons is gonna win Defensive Player of the Year for me. Y'all heard it here first.
Wait, what?
First, I don't know about Kyrie.
What he did, he had like what 15, 13, and 7. AD.
For Bradley Beal.
We can't.
And I don't mean Aaron Donald winning Defensive Player of the Year. I'm talking about Anthony Davis winning Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh. Anthony Davis for Bradley Beal. I can't.
No. He's saying
Defensive Player
He's saying for Depoy. He's saying for Depoy.
Oh, we got to win more games for him to get that. I'm with you. No. I'm with you because numbers wise, he's there. Eye test there, he's there. I cannot say he's Defensive Player of the Year when we third from the bottom of the league, Freddie.
You're right. I'm thinking they're gonna win at least 42 games though. So yeah.
And that's why I said I just got to wait for him to see that. But I do hear you on the Bradley Beal thing. I just think if you pair him with the Blazers, right? You lose Anthony Simons, but you get a more polished and a similar playmaker, possibly better playmaker. And you're losing Shaedon Sharpe too. But that's why that entices the Wizards. That makes them better long term. Then for the Blazers, you are able to win now because you're a 1-2 seed right now. You keep doing Grant, you got Nurkic, you still have the
Brad Beal
we have already. So I think Brad Beal,
Nurkic, and Grant, they will probably be a West favorite right now with how the West is looking. That is fire, bro. That's a great trade.
Clay for Bradley Beal.
They're not making that trade.
Why not?
You have to tell me why the Wizards would make that trade for an older Klay Thompson who's coming off injury
because they're trading Bradley Beal. Are they trying to win?
Come February, Klay is going to be dropping 25 to 30 every night. Watch. Be prepared.
25 to 30 every night.
He's not going to average that for the season, but he's going to have a month where he is literally just flame throwing.
I hear you. No, I hear you.
I can see it ramping up right now. He's getting that confidence back.
Well,
first couple games,
we will see how that I do hope so. But I think
Trey, you saying why would the Wizards do it? If they're trading Bradley Beal, they're obviously giving up. They're not trying to win.
But why go for an older player? I'm thinking to get younger.
Because his contract is going to expire and you get to start over in La La Land. It's DC. Like, what are we talking about right now? I mean,
why would I want Klay Thompson, who's 33 now?
He sells tickets, I think. Still, maybe. I don't know.
Because Klay has a skill set that many don't have, bro.
Do you think that Klay Thompson would re-sign with the Wizards over any other contending team that needs his skill set?
No.
So, like I said, why would I bring in Klay Thompson when I know he's purely a rental for someone who's been the face of my franchise?
Well, you saying you want youth with it. So what if I say Klay and Kuminga? Klay, Kuminga, and Wiseman. I mean, the money is there. The money matches. I mean, we talking about two max players. We're talking about two max players right now, Trey. I was saying Klay and Brad as the cornerstone.
You got to sell me on Wiseman. If I'm the Wizards, I'm fleecing more young pieces from you because Wiseman's in the G League. So again, I can't say like he started out the season on the NBA roster.
Take your pick. I mean, it's kind of like who it's.
I said more picks. That's the thing. Like I'm able to fleece more. The way the Warriors have played poorly, it looks like Steph Curry, Andrew, like the starters, cool. The bench, trash. Even Jordan Poole, who just got paid. Like
that's a disgrace, man.
But like the bench, they have not been helping the Warriors out. So from a trade perspective, I can ask for a lot back from the Warriors. I would just rather have Anthony Simons and Shaedon Sharpe. Like right now, they look like
Freddie said it though when it was like when he's talking about loyalty, and then right after that he said money. Okay, like people who comment on the game at the end of the day, them guys are cashing generational wealth checks. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of like like Freddie said, he respected the whole loyalty thing. I don't. As somebody who wants to watch good basketball, I do not respect loyalty at that point in your career, Trey. Come on now, Damian Lillard, and Bradley Beal have every right if they really cared about winning. Like that whole BS play about, oh, it won't feel the same if I don't bring it to my city. Nobody is signing in fucking Portland.
But I think Dames is different though, because we've seen glimpses of Portland being a great team. We've seen glimpses. They've gotten to Western Conference Finals. They've been competitive, winning 45 to 55 games a year.
In the Golden State era.
That's a fact too. That's a real thing as well, by the way. So I'm with you on that.
That's
but Bradley Beal has never had any glimpse whatsoever. We've never looked up at the standings and saw the Wizards, even when John Wall was there, right? They're roughly second round exits, right? When John Wall was at his peak, bro. But we say Wizards, oh, they're going in round one, or they're not making the playoffs. We've never said Eastern Conference Finals or NBA Finals.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like guys like a guy like Dame obviously is here, and you put a guy like Beal here. You know what I mean? But I'm saying Dame, no matter where he went, he makes that team a favorite. I don't care if you get Jeremy Grant. I don't care if Shaedon Sharpe. I don't care if Anthony Simons are all standouts. In my opinion, the Trailblazers are still not a Western Conference Finals threat right now. So
not even this year.
You see what I'm saying? So next year, what jump would the players have to make? The year after that, then you get up in that age, and I'm just kind of like, if you want to win, say you want to win. If you want to cash checks, say you want to cash checks. It's no like you're not hurting my feelings, but the whole like loyalty cop out, I feel like is a cop out personally. I personally feel like it's a cop out.
But that's a real thing, though, Reese.
I think y'all are forgetting too that the game has been studied. Like we studied Jordan, we studied Kobe, we studied Timmy. They didn't go nowhere. Now you can say the situations were really great and they didn't have to go anywhere. Like, I mean, they all tried to.
Different era.
I respect people who are trying to be loyal to their organization because, well, those are real leaders. It's easy to jump ship. Like we point at LeBron and say, "Oh, you're trash for doing that." We point at KD for, "Oh, you're trash for doing this." So like, I can't sit up here and blame someone. I get you. I hear you, but I can't blame someone saying, "Oh, you don't want to leave your team. You don't want to win." No, they want to win on their team. Like I can't.
Year 15, Trey. I'm saying, nobody's talking about jumping ship in year 15, bro.
Right. I feel like that 7-year window to figure it out.
You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day,
should be the
Dame and Bradley Beal get the most money staying at their team.
Get through your rookie contract, get through your second contract. Now let's see what's up. 7-year window.
No, I get you.
And then from there, you got to win.
I get you. I just think
I'm not saying that's what I'm saying. When I said not the whole loyalty thing, I'm saying for guys at that point in their career. I want Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown to play for the Celtics forever. I don't want them guys to ever leave.
Yeah,
we never get over the hump in the year 15 and 16. JB and JT like, look, I'm about to go play with somebody else because I think I can win. I mean, we ain't win nothing. If you want to win, if your goal is winning, like I'm not gonna knock a competitor for going to win. I will though knock a competitor for just staying idle and stagnant when you know that you are good enough. To me, I don't know. It's just like I feel like you're running from the moment.
I hear you. I disagree, but I hear you at the same time too, though. But like I said, I think people are going to think about LeBron James and Kevin Durant. As a matter of fact, kind of goes something like this.
Everybody doesn't play basketball for the same reason. Some people play for the check. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and that's okay. Though. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Oh, that Lakers win right here. My boy running up the ladder for MVP right now at 4-10.
Hey, Freddie, did you know the Lakers lost to the Jazz twice?
Yeah, the Jazz is a good team. The Jazz just beat the Suns yesterday, too.
Yep,
and they beat the Hawks and damn near everybody else.
They ain't beat the Celtics. Hold on. Watch the
Celtics is a good team, man.
Watch the
Celtics is a very good team. Until they get to the finals, they don't know how to dribble with their left hand.
Hey, I can't look you in your eye right now because of this video. Don't do that, Freddie.
You get to the finals and forget how to use their left hand.
Crazy trying to act brand new.
He had a stress fracture in the wrist.
This is 2022, Reese. We got tape. We can go back and look at what happened. Side I got something to bring up here. I wanted y'all to talk to. Look at his work. Look at Russ with them passes. Give me that. Oh. Laid him off like Kodak. Top 8 player in the league, Anthony Davis.
Longest Jayson Tatum, number 7.
Boston, number 9. Wow, Hillbilly Kobe. I don't like that nickname because he doesn't sound like a hillbilly. He talks like Tyler Hero. It's crazy.
I like AR-15.
Me too. He don't like it because he got to do the gun, but I'm like, yo, if LeBron give you a nickname, you better keep it. It means you're going to be around for a while.
Right, embrace the burner.
As soon as you get rid of that nickname,
you're not going to be around for a while. LeBron's not going to be around for a while.
Shit, I don't know. Him and Brady, I don't know, bro. We can say that, but
you think he's going to be with the Lakers?
Especially if he keep sitting out 30 games a year. He might be around for a while. He only going to play 50 games a year. Bro, KD's mid-range is so good. People don't understand how unstoppable he is, bro. Like, he only makes like 1 or 2 threes a game, bro. But he still give you an efficient 30 clip. 50% from the field. Contested everything. Basketball's so easy to KD.
Only way you can stop KD is by hacking them and the ref's not calling it.
Well, you gotta pick him up full court. Because, I mean, he's 7 foot. And you literally just gotta stay in. You can't let him get to his spot, bro. Like, you cannot let him get to his spot. Him or Kawhi, bro. You let them get to their spot to where they got to just make 1 dribble or 1 or 2 dribbles and get into their shot, bro. Like, you literally got to pick them up 3 quarters for that, at least. Like, basketball's too easy for KD, man. Ooh! That's how I dunked on Trey before. Reese told you about that? Yeah, his glasses fell off today.
Now where's my glasses? I can't see without my glasses.
Never dunked in your life.
Nah, I dunked before.
I've never been dunked on. The closest I came was BA was like coming down the court, and I moved the fuck out the way.
I don't blame you, bro. That's a big dude, man. Even
exactly, like Reese. BA is about 6'3",
solid ass dude,
and like a quality like 210, 215.
Yeah, he's solid.
Who got bounced? Matter of fact, whole time he played for the 76ers Summer League team. I want to say.
I know he went to Oak Hill, right?
Yeah, he came out of Oak Hill, went to the Masters for a little bit. BA was solid.
Yo. What's the next coach? Jack Bron looked like evil version of Darvin Ham. You see him? Bald head with the big. It's crazy. Look like evil Darvin Ham. All right, whatever.
Wild. That's so wild.
Wow, it is wild. It's crazy.
They try to paint it like some Mufasa and Stars type stuff now. Like, I bet you that's
makes sense. It makes sense.
Oh my gosh. Now, we just watched my team. I just wanted to point that out there. I'm a Laker fan. Not a Bron fan, but a Laker fan. So that brings the question. What's the Lakers' future going to look like, fellas? Reese, let me start with you, champ. Like, should the Lakers like try to trade LeBron James? Because I think we have to look at our squad and say, what are we looking like for next season? Like, can we win with LeBron James and Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook at the helm? Wait. Russell Westbrook might not be re-signing with us. Like, should he want to re-sign with us? Should we want to re-sign Russ? Like, there's a lot of things that we have to talk about. So, Reese, should we look to trade LeBron James, who we already know wants to go play with his son Bronny, and Bronny might enter the league in 2024?
I'm going to start with this. Until yesterday, the Celtics had 3 losses and the Lakers had 3 wins. I just wanted to start there. All right, just wanted to start there.
This guy. I'm impressed with this.
Like, what?
I'm impressed with this Every single segment, he finds a way.
I told you.
This is impressive.
I told you.
Man. Okay. All right.
Hold on. Before I got to do this. One of my mentors that has a beer out. It's called 8 Wars. Independent Ale, Pale Ale. It's not bad, actually. City State. Y'all go check them out. It's pretty good. Like, I'm not even going to cap. Go ahead, Reese. Go ahead and tell me, though. I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about the Celtics, but yeah, I forgot.
No.
We're talking about the Lakers and what we should do. Should we treat LeBron James, who does not play on the Celtics? Should Russell, we're going to start with stuff like that. Again, he's not on the Celtics,
So we trade. I think trading LeBron is definitely an option. I'm not going to say it's not an option. I mean, he's still LeBron James. You can get draft capital back and a couple players in a perfect scenario, right? For LeBron James. That's not a question. And like you said, he will be going, he's going to demand he goes wherever his son goes, period, right? And so if that is the case, in theory, you would be kind of fleecing a young team for picks when you know LeBron is not going to be in the league too long. I don't really know, you know what I mean? As say I'm Houston and I draft Bronny and Bron goes to play in Houston. All right, I don't know if I'm Houston if I'm going to give you 5 picks. You know what I mean? It's not like Bron. Like, I can't give you my entire future, but I mean, there's definitely conversations to be had. But honestly, like, it's tough. I feel like it's tougher. It's a tougher decision for LeBron than it is for the Lakers, because with LeBron being where he is in terms of the GOAT conversation, it's kind of like, I'm at the end of my career. Nobody's done this in year 20. I'm going to be number 1 in terms of scoring and everything. And, I just want to kind of gracefully bow out and go play with my kid. But we all know as long as LeBron James is on the court, he's going to be a topic of discussion. So he's not going to be able to really just go play with his kid and kind of just fall off the face of the earth while he's in Houston or in Detroit. You know what I mean? They're going to still be expected to win games. You know what I mean? It's not going to be like, Bron gets to just go play with his son and be a 12th seed and then he get to retire the next year. I just don't think that's going to be able to happen for LeBron. But in terms of the Lakers, I mean, it's a business move. The NBA at its root is a business, okay? And so you have to always be willing. I mean, good businesses know what they're going to do in 5 years. You hear that all the time, right?
That's why I said the next year.
Right. And so I think for sure it is a viable option that should not be taken off the table, especially if you don't think your roster is going to improve at all. However, I will say it is LA. Regardless if Russ does not re-sign, it is LA. That is something, as a Celtics fan, I've always envied of LA. People want to go where it's sunny. You know what I mean? That's just the truth of it. So I mean, I don't know. I think you always got a chance to kind of bounce back if you're the Lakers. It won't be bad fast.
Okay. I do. I gotta give you, Freddie, about 30 seconds. I know that's your guy, right? So like 30 seconds on Bron. Because I want to ask you directly about Russ. So I'm going to limit the time on Bron and focus on Russ. You see what I did there? You got to know your personnel. KYP.
Both sides. I'm happy you did that, though, because thank you, sir. I appreciate you. You're a smart man. You went to George Mason University then.
Hey, so did you.
I knew it. All right, so listen, quick, about Bron. If they should trade him, it depends on if they're in win-now mode. If you're in win-now mode, no, you shouldn't, because all you got to do is make the playoffs. We still haven't seen healthy Bron and AD lose a playoff series. When they lost to Phoenix, they were up 2-1 in control of that series. AD goes down, Bron re-injures his ankle. So, and then last year, of course, injuries happened, and the rosters are bad. So the first thing they should do is try to fix the roster issues right now. The supporting cast, shooters, and maybe need another big man. Thomas Bryant just came back. We'll see how he pans out, okay? We can't have William Gabriel backing up AD, right? And then secondly, the Lakers haven't proven that they can develop young players. So I don't know if trading for picks is going to do anything. Because even though they have the Lonzos, the Lance, what's his name, Nance, and
Brandon Ingram,
all those guys, right? They were good, but as soon as they left, they all went to the moon. B.I., like, you know what I'm saying? That's a development thing. That's not too many players. No, that's not that. So if I'm them, I'm holding on to him, honestly. He gives me my best chance to win if we make the playoffs. We got to work on fixing our supporting cast around Bron, AD, and Russ. So I don't know if that was 30 seconds or not.
So, yeah, but you went over a little bit. That's cool. So real quick then, about Russ. You cut into some of your Russ time. It's unfortunate. So should Russ want to re-sign with the Lakers? And I understand a few things might have to determine that. Like if we win the championship, sure, fine, run it back. If we make the playoffs, sure, fine, let's run it back. But it could go either way because maybe you can go to a better team and you just showcase that you're back to a degree. If you miss the playoffs, maybe you think, nah, I'm good, champ. So if you're Russ, right, and you miss the playoffs, is there any chance that you're returning?
So I don't know if you guys saw this. Woj posted something and erased it within a matter of a couple minutes that there's like 5 teams that showed interest in Russ since he started coming off the bench looking good. It was posted and erased. I saw it on Bleachers Report, clicked it, and it wasn't there anymore. And people were commenting how it happened. That happened. So anywho, so his stock is rising again. You notice nobody's trying to trash him. If I'm Russ, if we don't make the playoffs, I'm probably trying to get out of there. But more importantly, the Lakers aren't keeping Russ regardless of, because guess who's a free agent next year who they're not going to have to give up a first-round pick for to get him next year? Kyrie Irving. They're going to still go out there and get Kyrie. They don't care. They care about this nonsense that's going on because it is super serious, right? We want to make sure we address that. But they will take that baggage to get Kyrie Irving because you got to maximize LeBron and AD's prime. So, in which LeBron's, I guess, back in his prime. So I think Russ won't be there regardless next year unless they win a championship.
Frank, do you think Russ comes off the bench for any other team next year?
No. No.
So he just won't. He won't. I'm saying, because like coming off the bench to LeBron James.
Russ is still, bro, whatever it's worth. If we're talking just purely basketball, and Russ is still arguably top 10 to 15. Well, he's definitely top 15 point guard. There's an argument for him being a top 10 point guard, depending on how you look at basketball and value of a point guard. Bro.
Real quick, do you guys, if you don't have an answer like off the top right quick, then like we don't have to address it. Do you guys have a realistic Reese team that Russell Westbrook in a realistic
New York
can start for or just play for? You saying?
Start for like what team should Russell Westbrook want to go to?
Yeah, I don't have a specific, because there's a ton of teams you can start for. So
okay.
Chicago. No.
That would be interesting. Okay. Chicago getting a lot of love right now. I might be with you on that, but then
Minnesota.
That'll help Towns. Wow, because D'Lo has to go. So.
Right, and then you have a pick and roll guard with Rudy that can really kind of get him involved. Because everybody knows Russ has probably been. I mean, it is Russ and CP3 in terms of elevating big men at that point guard and that pick and roll. I would say that they're kind of 1 for 1, kind of what they've done over the years. You know what I mean? Especially with the bigs they've played with.
In terms of shooting for Russ, right? Mm-hmm. Do y'all worry about that? Because
he's shooting great right now.
And the reason why I say that is like Rudy doesn't space the floor out really.
Steven Adams didn't.
I know you have a, like you said, you just talked about a pick and roll game, right? Mm-hmm. And you amplify the bigs, but I that would be something that I would think about.
Towns is 40% 3-point shooter normally, and I
don't mind Russ going to the Wolves.
I'm gonna say Steven Adams couldn't shoot.
Right.
Steven Adams can't shoot with Ja right now. I mean, don't get me wrong. And I mean, Ja's not an amazing 3-point shooter.
Yeah, him and Sabonis together, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean? And they're going like, Ja has the volume right now where he gets to shoot 5-6 threes a game, even though he's not a great 3-point shooter. And I mean, he gonna knock 2 or 3 down, and you live with it. It's the same thing for us. I mean, it's kind of like he gonna shoot them. You live with whatever happened. I mean,
okay.
Gotta let him,
yeah.
All right. Well, however this all shakes out, I hope I'm not a loser in this thing. That's all I want my Lakers to be situated for the future. Personally, if we could, I wouldn't mind trading Bron, because I think you still can get a lot of value out of him. I'm not hating,
No, you. The thing is, bro.
I'm looking.
I'm but it's fine.
Fan. I feel like if I have
the problem is when you try to defend it. We know it's fine, bro.
Like I said, this is not anybody. This is not me hating. If I have hesitation on us winning the chip, which I'm looking at the roster, and I don't think we can win. Like I think we are a contender, but like when I look at other teams, I feel like they can beat us right now. If we make some trades, cool. If we get Kyrie, that's lovely. But the Nets thought the exact same thing, and for whatever reason, the NBA has wanted to like they you know what, Kyrie, we don't want you to play. Like we're gonna slap you with this vaccine, but we're gonna do it from your own state, and we're gonna let other people come into play who aren't back. You know, it just seems like there's always something, unfortunately, with Kyrie. So I feel like that would follow over to the Lakers again. Bron, Kyrie, like that's a lot of drama. Then you got
the only time Kyrie didn't have drama was when he played with Bron. So I think it does take that master leader to, you know what I'm saying? But
I don't think Kyrie is going to listen to LeBron James, but I do hear you on that point. I do hear you. I think Kyrie goes to the beat of his own drum.
I would also say
people can say like
I would also say people love to say Kyrie didn't have drama with Bron. Who asked out of Cleveland? Why did he ask out of Cleveland? Then I don't really know what drama is.
But it wasn't on
court. But I think Kyrie also. Yeah, I think Kyrie also kind of reneged a little too on that.
He did renege, but I mean that's what growth. What you know what you call that? Growth.
That's why I kind of give him that's why I kind of give Freddie the nod on like he didn't have drama with Bron. Like it might have been he wants to be the guy. Bron's like, you might not be. Talent wise, you can be. Kyrie just can't be. Like I don't think Kyrie's gonna get you over that hump. So
I agree.
Yeah. So, and again, I've always said, like, from a talent perspective, he still can be. I just don't think that anymore. So, but like I said, ultimately, I hope me as a Laker fan is not going to be a loser. Kind of like how I felt, no disrespect, but when my boys played. Let's just, I got to be fair, folks. I got to be fair and call my boys.
Ready now for the tip of our Sonic blocker for Kansas. Switching. And they're going to try to put us pressure.
You started out strong. You went up 4-0. And then after that, it got a little tricky. This is when I just need to start thinking. You see what I'm saying? Casual.
Wilson did a minutes off the bench in the early going. Now Brady Dick. And up against
this man was annoying as well.
Nah, yeah, Grady was getting to him. Lucky.
Yeah, like
he only had 11 points or something like that.
It's crazy, but he just. He reminds me of Brown from last year. And this kid, Jalen Wilson, just said, you know what, forget my team. He just might put in work. But he don't do nothing special, though. That's what's crazy about it. That was ugly.
Very.
Like, he did his own. This was that's two of them things. And then they hustle for the. Like, ain't that about a? I had to give them their love because, like, they deserve that. But we get it right back, fellas. That's when I come showing up. Hey, let's go, Roach.
Roach with a baseline drive and the foul as well.
Out of Paul the Sixth, from the Northern Virginia area. Shout out. Right back at him.
Lakes with a corner three. Edinburgh with a rebound. Harris did not score in the first half. A couple of fouls played 10 minutes.
I got to say, though, fellas, we were not playing with our possibly best player, Derek Whitehead. He is projected to be like a top 5 player in this year's draft. So, do be on the lookout once he comes back.
What's he out for?
He fractured his left foot. So I think he was out for like a couple weeks, a couple months. He did it in like good summertime. My guy Mitchell right here, the guy who just dunked, he's going to be a little pivotal for us too. Be a nice little two-way player for us. At least you hope.
Wilson again. Boy, is he so many plays around the rim.
It won't as aggressive as what the effects made it seem like. I had to disagree. Give me some, Roach.
He didn't even get off the ground for real.
But like, he's just
that was smooth.
Like, that's
I'm about to say that pick and roll. I was surprised they went away from it in the second half.
Hey, left hand finish. Weight room, excuse me. Too small.
Hey, never mind.
That's how I did Freddie.
Hey, what? All right. Y'all won this game?
Freddie,
Yes or no? Why you show these highlights, man? It's like showing Izzy getting dropped. Why would you do this? Y'all just won by like 40. Why would you do this?
He wanted to see that Kansas 3 turn to 3 again.
Man, and I can accept when we lose, but best believe it almost did not.
You can't accept LeBron James. It's just kind of like, what's the
reason? I have to accept it. I can't change it. I don't stroke the checks. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it is what it is. But you know, we just saw Duke versus Kansas, ladies and gentlemen. Real quick, fellas. There it is. What's more exciting, the NBA or college basketball for you guys? And I want to do it. 2 questions. This can be real quick. Regular season, right? For the NBA versus college basketball. Which one's more exciting? Reese, we'll start with you.
So, regular season, I'm gonna go NBA.
Okay. Cut it off right there. There. Freddie, who you got?
NBA.
Okay, bet. Now for the postseason, though, this is where everything's happening, fellas. March Madness, NBA Finals. I feel like, Freddie, we're gonna start with you, and you can go ahead and say NBA. But I feel like, Reese, you might be able to make something shake and say March Madness. So for the postseason, fellas,
check this out.
Freddie,
NBA, because I'm gonna tell you something right now.
I knew he was gonna.
The average person cannot tell you who won the last 10 national championships. NBA, and it's not even close. The NCAA hype is literally that hype, bro. And every year, NCAA gets less and less important. NBA for sure.
I feel like the average fan can't tell me the last 10 like champions.
Bro, I can tell you the last champion back to 85 and MVP. Like,
I think it's easier to go back to back in the NBA, and it that kind of gives me a little favoritism for the NBA.
Is it, bro?
It is, because again,
the same 5 teams win in college, though.
What?
The same 5 teams win in college.
Tell me the last time a team went back to back.
I mean, the same 5 team win in college.
But I'm saying it's easy to go back to back, so you're gonna know. Like, I'm talking about, if you say the last 10,
because like, there's 30 teams versus hundreds of college teams. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I do agree with you saying. I get recruiting and everything as well without salary cap, but it's 30 teams versus hundreds of teams in the pool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
and it's one game versus.
I like to see, but that I feel like that should lead to the excitement. It's one game, but I know Reese is over here. So Reese, talk to me, baby. What you got for me, man? Let me get my Duke ring out here. I feel like you gonna say. College. Come on, lean with that college.
Can I? So here's the thing, right? I mean, I feel like it's kind of a different strokes for different folks type of thing, right? Because I mean, I hear people talk about like when I hear people talk about NBA versus college, it's like, oh, like they play with more passion in college, and you know they're not motivated by XYZ in college and everything like that, or they don't cry as much as the professional players cry and stuff like that. And so I get that. But like when it comes to
less crying at Duke than he did on the Celtics, I just want to say that. Go ahead.
Woo! When it comes to the and listen, wow. And that's why we're going with the NBA. Yep.
Whoa, you're such a hater, bro. Yep. Like, look, green is not a good color on you.
You want to make the comments.
Envy.
But there's no. I didn't even know college started. Well, I barely knew college started. Like, I've heard of no marquee college games. And granted, there's no games marquee because football is going on. But even with basketball, it's like, oh, shoot, it's the Bucks versus the Sixers tonight. With college, there's been no game that's gotten major coverage that's been talked about. I'm also off all social media right now, so I don't hear stuff anymore.
You had Duke versus Kansas. You got Gonzaga versus Kentucky. Yeah. Gonzaga just played Texas. Like,
well, you don't hear much about it. Like,
I guess because it's early. You don't hear it over the NFL.
But they only got 30 games.
I'll get you. But I think if you follow it too, though, like you hear it. But again,
and I'll say too, though, I think kind of what could separate kind of the NBA from college is like when you have like a stud coming out, you hear a lot more about it. You know what I mean? Like when Duke had RJ, Cam, and Zion, you know what I mean? It was like, oh my gosh, like Duke's playing. You know what I mean? I gotta watch Zion. And people when you talk about RJ still being the leading freshman scorer on that team and everything, like
because he ball hogs.
Like, that's the kind of hype that comes when things like that come around. When you have talent coming through on multiple teams and stuff like that. But it's crazy. I mean, you could talk about, you just mentioned Gonzaga. Wasn't Luka Garza on Gonzaga?
Yeah. Luka Garza played for what state?
He played for Iowa.
Purdue. Wait, no.
Iowa.
So you see him killing it in college, and then he gets to the NBA and can't even break a 15-man roster. So that's kind of where it's kind of like I get the excitement behind college, but like the jump from college to NBA, you know what I mean? If you're a real hoop head, I feel like you're living for that jump. Like you want to see guys, like you're excited for guys in college, but you're living for them to make that jump and be impactful. I mean, like, again, Ja at Murray State was, I would say, Showtime, right? He gets to the NBA, and you got everybody throwing them up. You know what I mean? Like, you got Moneybag dropping songs. You know what I mean? That stuff like that don't really happen for college. I don't know.
That's why Jaden Ivey gets more love than Jalen Smith right now.
Right. I hear y'all, right? But I think because of college getting the whole NIL deals, that helps out with the excitement as well. Because now you get these personalities that you've seen, like imagine Mikey Williams in March Madness. I think that'd be pretty exciting to see. And again, you get these players for like 1 year. In the NBA, realistically, if I see you in the postseason, I'm probably gonna see you again. I can afford to miss you this game. There's no guarantee I can afford to miss this one player, one game in college. So, like, imagine you watching Paolo last year, and you thinking he gonna beat. Give me a second. And you thinking we gonna beat UNC, and you just so happened to. You just didn't watch the game, bro. Like, and now you just can't watch Paolo no more. Like, I can watch Paolo anytime I want to now because he plays a lot more games. Like with the college games, it's one and done.
But Trey, because you make a good point, but I think that's also what makes the NBA so exciting is because of the drama, the build up, the Hawks watched the Knicks up in the playoffs last year. This game is about to be crazy. And that's why opening, you know what I'm saying? Like, because
the history college
aspect of it, right. Because of college, like there's some build up, but it's still like De'Aaron Fox versus Lonzo, right? There's the build up for sure. It was crazy hype, but it's like, damn, you like the rivalry.
Right, I was gonna say, I feel like
you get 4 year guys.
There though, like
it's Duke not the same now because it's not like Grant Hill and Duke coming back to play against Maryland and so on and so forth, right? Like it's not that anymore because you don't have 2, 3, 4 year guys anymore, right? Everybody in Duke used to stay for 4 years. Now that's like pretty much like Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? You're going from 1 year going to the league. So I think that's why college has lost some of its actual factors because guys are one and done.
Yeah, like
because you don't get that build up, that drama going into carrying over to next year.
Yeah, program rivalry is a lot different than I can't wait to play that guy. You know,
Austin Rivers versus North Carolina. I know you remember that,
bro. I remember where I was. I was in student apartment, and I was on my bed watching the game. And when I tell you, I let loose when that man hit that three. I walked in the Tyler house happy as hell? Like, what just mean nothing? But no. But that's why I feel like I get more excitement about those college moments because again, it's limited, and then you get like rotating pieces. So it's like I feel like it's a little bit harder to maintain that excitement because it sometimes stuff gets a little stale, and with college, it doesn't necessarily get stale. But I also can't be mad at you for saying NBA. Like, I'm on the fence about it. Maybe ask me tomorrow, I might say NBA. Yeah. Like, it just depends on the day. Like, rivalry week, I'm saying college basketball, easy. Okay. Like, there's nothing like it. Like, Duke, UNC, there's no better rivalry to me. Like, Celtics, Lakers, that's cool. Duke, UNC is better to me personally. Like that
right now, absolutely, yeah.
Like that's just me personally.
Well, I would say those type of rivalries in the NBA aren't what they were 20 years ago either, or even 10 years ago.
Like, what are real quick? And I don't want to drag this out. What are the? Let's say you got to say 2 or 3 real rivalries right now in the NBA. What are they?
Giannis really versus Trez. Giannis versus Trez.
Wow! Whoa! Wow!
Hey! Hold on.
We're not talking.
Hold on. The Morris twins versus Jokic and his family.
Wow! Okay. Right. We cooking with grease now.
DeJounte Murray versus Paolo. Yep, I like it. All right, time out.
Chill out, bro.
Seriously though, Trae Young versus the Madison Square Garden for sure.
Facts.
I love that. Ooh. I love what he did. That whole villain thing. I love that. I
think the Grizzlies
Kawhi Leonard versus his trainer.
Grizzly Warriors. You said who? Kawhi versus his trainer. Messed up.
My bad.
Brady doesn't messed up. I was
going. He plays basketball.
Listen, I was going to say Clippers Lakers.
Me and Carr Kawhi played the same games this year, bro.
Clippers Lakers not even a rivalry.
Nah, it's not. Like, nah.
Luka versus Phoenix.
Shoot, Luka versus the Clippers. He loved playing in the Clippers.
True.
I gotta go Phoenix right now because Phoenix has done more. I did think Luka versus Kawhi and PG, but like
that was cool,
Kawhi been out too much. I can't add Kawhi and nothing.
I'm trying to think about another Eastern team.
I don't know.
Kawhi might be in the front office now. We don't know.
That's tough. That's so tough. But look, I feel like at some point in time, Kawhi is going to reach back into this segment right here. Wait for it. Hold on. Yes.
What?
There we go.
You think Kawhi gonna reach back there?
Not really. It was just a transition.
Yeah, man. I think we've seen the last of elite Kawhi, man. Sadly, as it sounds.
Oh, Boston versus Miami. That's a good rivalry too.
Yeah, I mean they each beat each other in the Eastern Conference Finals over the past 3 years, right?
Right. Them guys play hard against each other.
That's a good point.
That's fair. That's a fair way to bring in the Celtics.
Look at that light-skinned brother there.
I appreciate you, Reese. I try. Oh, you were talking about JT. My bad.
Yeah, I was.
Hey, you look like Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum.
Look at the weight room.
You Jayson Tatum, bro.
Freddie, you're such a hater, dog.
Whoa. Tomato can.
Why you got Joker on there, man? They ain't let me win.
Whoa. Tomato can.
You can say that, but like numbers wise, he's still cool. And then let me just go ahead and let these boys finish.
Yeah, I think it's over for him, man.
Chef Curry.
Yes, sir. Don't forget Jock. No.
Well, I mean, I only had 5.
I don't know.
I mean, I had more. So, like, there's a whole roster, bro. Like, and it's crazy when you look at the rosters. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander could be on this list. Like, this man has been hooping, and on the defensive end, too. It's crazy. But you just saw my top 5 MVP candidates. And it was tough to put Curry up there. I got to be this one, fellas, I kind of am not consistent with it. And I'm losing some sleep a little bit. Oops, hold on. Let me do this. There we go. Now we back on. So with Steph, right? Like my definition of an MVP, and I'll get y'all take on this. You got to have the talent and dominance, right? And then your team's talent. I got to factor that in. So if you're on a scrub team, I'm gonna give you a little more leeway than somebody else. If you're on a really stout team, I'm gonna knock you, unfortunately. But if you just dominate still on that squad, I can't say nothing. Then also you got the eye test, and then this one I kind of added late. It was the contract, because again, value, right? When you look up the word value, it is based on monetary. So I got to help out some folks there on the list, but I like my MVPs to be on the top 10 team. Again, unless you're on a trash squad like Kobe, MVP, but he was on the trash team. Steph not on the trash team. Like we hyped this team up for a minute. Right. It's a 3-man race. I think we all agree on that one. It's Luka, Giannis, and JT, right? But for me, I go personally Luka because of situation. I know JT has JB. I know Giannis, you got Drew Holiday, who's putting up 20 a game. You get Chris Middleton back coming later on. He's 20-point game caliber player. It's I gotta knock somebody at some point in time, and that seemed to be the best way. When I looked at Luka, his team, all the utilization might be a little higher, right? I hear you. This is not who's the better player, who's the more valuable. MVP does not mean the best player again. So Luka, I don't think is better than a JT. I don't think he's better than a Giannis. But value-wise, no one on his team is throwing up 20. I can't say that for the Bucks, and they're missing Chris Middleton. I can't say that for the Celtics because they have JB. So in terms of value, right now, I gotta go Luka. The only way it locks out for Luka is if the team starts to dip a lot, or if JT or Giannis dominate that much more, or if Steph Curry's Warriors finally get into the top 10 realm like they should. But that's how I'm looking at this. I wanted y'all takes on this though. Freddie, I feel like you're gonna have the most hesitation, the most reservation about my listing. So we're gonna start it off with Reese.
Well, now, I'm gonna let Freddie go first. But what I will say is, Trey, what I heard from you just now is who's the best player with the worst GM?
Luka's better than JT, by the way. But so I'm surprised you said that, because I don't think JT could have done what Luka did last year with Dallas. So, but I don't want to. Okay, I just want to throw that out there. And I'm not even a crazy Luka fan. Well, anywho, I don't put Luka as number one simply because I think this Dallas team is better than it was last year. I get they lost my guy Julius Brunson or Jalen Brunson. Jalen, yes, Brunson, and I'm a Knicks fan. They lost him, but they get Timmy back. They answered a big issue in getting JaVale McGee, which I thought was a huge signing. Because I'm not a Dwight Powell guy by any means. I feel like he literally just takes up space vertically and just roster and financially, whatever. And then they got Christian Wood, who he should be starting, if we're going to be honest. This is a good Dallas team, a very good Dallas team, to where you can afford to put Dorian Finney-Smith or Kleba or what's my guy with the crazy hair, the other shooter. On the bench, I'm sorry?
Reggie Bullock.
Yes, Reggie Bullock on the bench. Like, now you can bring one of those guys off the bench. They went out. I thought Hardy was going to be more of a intricate part to their offense. He hasn't been yet. But still, overall, it's a better team. Their record has been somewhat underwhelming so far. So I do have Luka as number 3. I have Giannis as number 1 still. They're still a top, 3 seed in the league, 2 seed in the league. And he does not have Chris Middleton. When Chris Middleton comes back, they're winning the championship. His numbers are still great in talking about Giannis. And he hasn't had Drew Holiday for a couple of games. So he's definitely my number 1. Jayson Tatum has to be number 2, man. He's playing brilliant. You got to give him his credit, especially after winning the championship. You've seen how the Warriors came back after going all the way to the finals. They seem like a little worn out, like they haven't recovered yet. The Celtics are fine, and Jayson Tatum is fine. So he hasn't missed a step. In fact, he took his game to the next level. So Giannis, JT, Luka, Ja, and Embiid.
Okay. But again, he said though that Luka's better than JT. Reese, real quick.
Faction.
So like, what's your take? What's your take? I know you're a JT guy. I know JT's your guy. I know JT's your number one. Talk to me. What's up?
So I hear what you're saying. I just want to kind of go to what you said though. I really do understand what you're saying when you say, because this is basically how I interpret it, right? Best player with the worst GM. Because you talk about, when we talk about Luka, in terms of the top three, right? I mean, we talk about Luka, JT, and Giannis.
Maybe GM, maybe not, because I think Christian Wood's going to eventually get to 20 points a game. He was there at one point in time, giving you 20 and 10.
But he's like,
should we say coach GM? Because I don't think it's fair.
Well, no, that's what I was gonna say though. That's what I was gonna say. I would disagree with you though, because you did say about the having a 20 point per game score. It's not JT and Giannis' fault that Christian Wood coming off the bench. I mean, it's just, Christian Wood as a starter could give you 20 plus a game with especially playing on the court with Luka. I mean, that's no question at all. That's just you're giving him a pick and pop and a roll big. That's kind of the perfect piece for Luka. I do not understand why he's coming off the bench. I think it's idiotic. No matter what the numbers and analytics say, it doesn't make sense. I agree with Freddie. Guys like Powell don't have a place when you got a JaVale McGee and a Christian Wood who can really go and give you everything you need. You can use the White Power on somebody. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, but JT is my number one right now. But I will say though, and it's very apparent to me that the Celtics have the best constructed roster in the league currently.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's even close. And so I'm more than fine with him not being a lot of guys number one, because I mean, damn, the team really is that good. But I will say though, he is, because it's a numbers thing, right? He's number 3 right now in plus minus in the league. And I don't think and then it's crazy because we got Sam Hauser at number 1 because he plays with Jayson Tatum.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So when we talk about that value, I feel like when you can elevate a guy like Sam Hauser who isn't, you know what I mean? People don't even know who I'm talking about right now, right? And so it's like, when you got a guy like that who was number 1 with the best player on their team being number 3, that speaks volumes in terms of somebody's value and those minutes on the floor. Because I mean, a lot of guys can't really run with the bench and still keep their composure, make the right plays the entire time, and just not care about numbers. But Jayson Tatum's already said in the post game he could care less about winning the MVP. The thing he cares about is getting back to the finals and not feeling the same way he felt last year coming out. He's just going to keep playing at a high level. If it comes out being the MVP, that's cool. But I'm going to be honest with you, I hate that Chris Middleton's out. Because Giannis, I feel like, is my clear number 1 outside of me being a fan. Because, I mean, goddamn, look at him.
Don't worry, they're going to win the championship when he comes back. So
let me ask you guys this, right? Because, again, I stated earlier, if you're on like a really stout team, I kind of knock you, right?
Yeah.
So in terms of win shares, then like win shares, like how many wins you attribute, how many wins you pretty much count for. Giannis is 1.7, Luka is at 2.7, Tatum's at 2.4, Spider's at 2.1. Dame was low at 1.2. I didn't see that one coming. Jokic, 2.4. Markkanen, 1.8. Like, do y'all care about win shares like that?
Not the past couple years. That and defensive rating. And again, because Joker was rated as a higher defender by their advanced analytics. He was ahead of Bron and Giannis one year. Over the past 2 years, I forget which year it was. And it's like, come on. We know that both of those guys are far beyond way better defenders now. And even with win shares over the past couple years, there's been some players who have been higher than others. And it's just like, analytics don't always, you know what I'm saying? Analytics, to an extent, ruins basketball when the basketball nerds aren't watching the game. They got to be 50-50, right? You can look at numbers, but you also got to look at eye test and say, okay, this is happening because of this. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not as sold on that defensive win share.
Curry's unanimous MVP year, he had a stout team. Like, I mean, they had probably the best team, top 3 in the league. I mean, easily, I think. I would probably say they were the best team. I mean, you had the unanimous MVP, second best shooter in the league. Draymond, they could do whatever he wanted.
He won unanimous.
That was,
you know what I mean?
73 and
20-point per game scored.
That was 73 and 9 year, right?
Yeah, 17.
Yes. I feel like that was Jayson
or 16
current year right now, because they had just gotten to the finals. They won it. That's the only difference between him and JT. And now it's like this season, okay, he's kind of taking off. Like, I don't know. I like he met the eye test. He had the metrics. And then his team also finished in like the top 10, right? Like they were like, when I look at Jokic, his team's doing that. Like he's hitting the numbers. His eye test is hitting. Now, granted, all 3 of us stated it's Giannis, Luka, and JT. My guy at the beginning of the season was Joel Embiid. The man did not hit my top 5. Now he's still getting. I'm still giving him some love just in case. I don't want to be a bridesmaid too damn long. Mm-hmm. But we also got to give love to Jokic as well, because again, Jokic is the back-to-back MVP. So I think we are kind of sleeping on him.
I'm not.
I don't know, Fred, because
I think at some point, and this is, I think, like at some point, y'all think we got voters fatigue for Giannis and Bron, and this is more recent. Of course, it happened to Mike in the past. Bro, Joker has not. All he's done is put up numbers, bro. But when you talk true impact on a game on both sides of the court, that's for people like the Steve Nash one was always weird to me how he won that one. It's like, what is really an MVP, bro? Like, to me, he puts up beautiful numbers. He's a very good basketball player, but I don't think he's an all-around dominant impact. As far as even now, like people are like, oh, when they get their team back, they get back MPJ and they get back Murray. They're going to take off. I'm like, no, they're not. They're capped. They're never going to win a championship because Joker is your best player. Like, his numbers are always going to be good because he's a very skilled, high IQ, very talented basketball player. He's a great basketball player. But there's great basketball players who can't do that. He's not an ultimate winner, bro. Like, him getting 2 rings put him in historic company that he doesn't deserve to be in. And so I just feel like they're not going to let him win in the game because they did the same to Giannis, and Giannis plays both sides. Giannis is taking his team far every year. Huh?
I was talking with Reese earlier, and we mentioned how Luka and Trae Young both took their team to the conference finals.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, even though I discredit this entire year, Jokic did the same thing.
He did.
I can't say he's not in the right company if he's done that and put up those same numbers that he's done. I hear you might say it's premature, but like he still did what
Trey, you specifically can't, and I love you, bro, but you specifically can't do this because you do not credit the bubble. So you specifically can't do this because you don't credit the bubble. Like, but I get what you're saying, and I give him credit for that. I think I gave him credit to you specifically when he came back down from 1-3, because I've always been opposed to Joker, anyways. But yeah, bro, but you don't care about the bubble. Yeah, I get what you're saying though. He has that on his resume, but I think that's the furthest he's ever going to get.
That's
while
fair.
being the number 1 guy. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. Is there a sleeper on the MVP? Because I still got some people I ain't list, dog. Like D Book, you know what I mean? He was playing cool. Ja Morant, he out there. Up there. Can we give some love to KD though? KD in the same boat as Steph. And like I said, it's tough for me to put Steph in that boat when his team is looking, and I hate this. His team looking ass. Like you gotta call a spade a spade. They looking ass, bro. Like Siakam, I wanted to throw Siakam in that thing, but
he just went out with that injury. But Siakam would be my sleeper. Siakam would be my sleeper for sure.
I think Shai might be my sleeper just because his defense. Again, he's not going.
His numbers are crazy.
Let me just say that right now. But if he's on a different team, bro, I think he gets a little more recognition, and he might climb up ranking.
Do you think on a different team though he's dropping? Like I feel like guys kind of.
I feel like he would. I feel like you put if you
put him, the man is like. I mean, but the Thunder, they're averaging like 140 a game. I mean, like,
yeah.
I don't know what's
going on. Stopping you, and you ain't stopping them.
Yeah. Like Shy seems like a really solid bucket, but it's not just the offensive end for me; it's the defensive end that he's taken a little bit more shine to. So that holds up,
I wouldn't. He's not a super young guy no more either. Though. I feel like people are like. Shy has been on the come up. He's a year.
Chris Paul's been on like 3 different teams since Shy's came to the league.
What I'm saying, I'm about to say, and Shy's a year. He got drafted a year after Tatum. You know what I mean? Like in terms of like the, you know what I mean, the calendar and kind of all of that. I mean, he's
24. He's 24.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's in step with the guys around him, especially when you look at how kind of boisterous the numbers are, especially over the last 2-3 years. I mean, guys are. I mean, this is the first year I think they said. I mean, you had like 3 or 4 guys averaging 30 this far into the season. Like that's kind of crazy, right?
This first season, yeah. It was crazy. It was crazy. It's crazier to hear though that no one said Lauri Markkanen, Laurie Bird, as some call him. Maybe just me.
We're not. We're not about to do this.
Like,
we're not about to do this.
We're not about to do this. Question, real quick. This how much start in this, because we ain't got to do this, because I got to get off in like a couple minutes, and I don't want to. Come on, listen. All right. Did anyone from Detroit during the Billups years, right? The Billups, Sheed, Rip Ham, did any one of those guys ever get MVP considerations? No.
No,
they didn't. Did anyone from Atlanta Hawks in 2016, when they won 75% of their games against the Western Conference, ever win MVP or get a MVP candidate? No.
It's a very different situation. But I hear
you. It's not, man.
I hear you. I do hear you. Like I said, Laurie was not in my top 5. He was not in my top 5. So.
I mean, yeah, I'm about to say. Also, he's had some great games, but if we said numbers a lot. His numbers are not that impressive.
That's crazy because I say the same thing, and then you say, "Oh, it's the way he."
No. MVP. No. In terms of an MVP, okay, his numbers are impressive for what he's contributing to the second team in the West right now. But we're talking about like a MVP. They are those guys are all out there playing with heart and nothing to lose. Like it ain't just Lowry.
I hear you. Well, sound like Joel Embiid for MVP. That's what I heard. So
if James Harden and Tyrese Maxey's in a boot. I mean, if those guys both go out and Joel Embiid is the one who's willing folk to win, he's going.
Hey, I got a sneaky suspicion he played himself into shape. I got a sneaky suspicion he pulled the Luka and played himself into shape this year. Early on, he didn't look like he was moving around as well, but now he seems like moving around.
AD doing the same thing?
Nah, AD looked like he was in shape. It just looked
I think now he's just been more aggressive.
Like, he's been solid too. I would put AD in that. AD could be a little higher in the MVP discussion as well, but we got to.
Right, he was my sleeper too. Yeah.
We were done with the show. It was just a quick little would you rather jump.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah. Trae Young versus DeJounte Murray. Who would you rather have as your starting guard?
DeJounte Murray. Yeah, I mean,
Freddie, I already know where you're going with it. I already know you're gonna say DeJounte. Surprise me with Trae Young. Go ahead and surprise me.
All right, I like DeJounte's game more. I'd rather have Trae Young. I like DeJounte's game more. Don't ask me why. Don't let me change my mind. You know how I feel. You know I'm not a crazy Trae guy.
I'm about to say he has said that Trae Young cannot lead a team. So that's interesting.
I said, man.
Okay. Because as a point guard, how about as a point guard, not just a player, as a point guard?
That's specifically what I'm talking about it for. I feel like Trae unlocks your offense well. He unlocks your offense as opposed to where DeJounte gives you that two-way style of play to, you know what I'm saying? But Trae unlocks your offense a lot more. So,
like Trae Young is more of a scoring guard. He has a amazing
Trae Young.
Yeah, like I
I
can't
averages 10 assists a game.
I know, but I'm looking at those 10 assists, and when 6 of them are lobs because he gets into the lane on a floater, he just throws that to Clay Capella or John Collins. You know what I mean? It's different than when a guy like Luka gets in the lane, goes up for a jump shot, and then throws it to the corner while he's still looking at the basket. I don't know. Right. It just hits a little different for me.
I feel you.
I like DeJounte better personally, just because the defensive factor he gives me, it's the two-way ability. But from a point guard perspective, I think Trey's utilization is going to be a little higher than DeJounte's going forward. But like the games that I've seen though, like bruh, DeJounte from a point guard standpoint seems better. I feel like I can run the same way that Trae Young runs his team. Like if you took Trae Young off this squad, put DeJounte Murray, and gave me some shooters like the same team that Trae Young had, I could replicate the same success with DeJounte Murray and possibly go further because of the defensive aspect he brings. So I'm like, I got to go DeJounte Murray. And I was actually talking with a coach about this, and he says Trae Young, which I do understand from the scoring perspective, the electric perspective, you go Trae. Like his game is sexier, if you will, right? But I think from a playing standpoint, again, just like Trae Young gives you 9 assists, but then he gives you like 3 turnovers. All right, well, DeJounte gives you like 8 assists and then like 2.3 turnovers. You know what I'm saying? Like it's relatively favoring DeJounte for me. So when you slap on the defense, I got to go DeJounte. But I do understand why people might say Trae Young though. So it's not a oh, that's a terrible take. It's just more like a preference thing. That's all. But that was the end of that though, ladies and gentlemen. Freddie, Reese, I do greatly appreciate you boys.
Always, brother. Always, man. Always fun.
I was gonna say we definitely gotta get back on here again. So I'll definitely keep y'all boys up to date.
I just want to do one quick shout out, bro. Just one quick one. You might appreciate this or no, you might regret it as a Lakers fan. Dwight Howard, 38 points. Looking like 20-something rebounds, 25 rebounds.
Yeah.
9 assists.
Yeah. Reese, let them know what I said. Reese, let them know what I said.
Y'all could have him.
It's a lot of folk could do for Dwight Howard right now. He's being done.
Looked like he worked on his ball handling a little bit. Got some confidence. He shot 2 of 10 from 3, but still, there was confidence in it. It's about the confidence, right? So I just wanted to throw that out there. But
I told Reese, I don't know why the Celtics didn't get Dwight Howard. But I also told him too, he may want to hurry up and get Dwight Howard before the Nets and the Lakers. Specifically those 2 teams, I stated. So when I found out that Dwight Howard was getting a multi-year deal over there, that's a little tough. But we can break contracts. That's
right.
Well, once their season is over, he can come over and I don't know when their season ends, but I know Lance Stevenson has done that in the past. I think JR has done it in the past. So
hopefully he makes a comeback because he needs to. He's still
he shouldn't be off the league.
He's still quality pick. Oh,
DeAndre Jordan can be on the Nuggets. Dwight Howard can be on any team. No,
there you go.
Not DeAndre. People keep saying it to knock DeAndre Jordan. I'm not knocking DeAndre when I say that. All I'm saying is there's a place for that style of big man still somewhere on the roster. Show respect. I don't know.
Right. Hell, to be honest with you, the Warriors could use him. They sent James Wiseman down to the G League.
Yeah.
Bring Dwight Howard. Even Dwight Howard said that.
They can go back and get Boogie and
there's so many big men out there today that people could use. I think they're just trying to figure out who's going to be available.
Right.
And then just wait till the latter part of the season. But yeah, definitely. Great mention. Well, like I said, I appreciate this conversation.
Yes, sir.
Do it again. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoyed it. And till next time.
Hope you all right, fellas. Till next time.
Oh, I did not know you guys were still here. As you can see, we're at the back end of the show. No pun intended, but look, hope you all enjoyed it. And before you go, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the IG account, share the content to anybody who's anybody. And most importantly, leave your thoughts and comments below. But I gotta go back and play Buddy in 2K, so let me unmute him real quick. Excuse me. Hey, boss, I'm back. Nah, you better catch this word. You know we get buckets around here, too.